I Channel 1 Newsflash. I am Asu Channel.
This is BBI Channel 1 conversant, where we address facts, questions.
Abandon our brother Nnamdi Kanu.
I'm a Biafran by indigenation.
Biafra, so we can never deny our ancestors.
This is BBI Channel 1. Hello, this is BBI Channel 1 and you're welcome to yet another edition of Matters Arising. You all know that Matters Arising is a program where we discuss trending issues that are happening around the news desk. So we are going to be looking into some of the trending stories today. The first that we have for today is news about the release and discharge of 45 Indigenous People of Biafra at Magistrate Court. In Port Harcourt, the Magistrate Court has discharged and acquitted 45 Indigenous People of Biafra who were arrested during the Donald Trump inauguration rally that was held in Port Harcourt. They were charged for treason and treasonable felony. And before now, Biafrans have been experiencing so many molestation and harassment by security operatives in Nigeria. But all of that seems to be changing with speed of light. Biafran people have been experiencing landslide victory. They have recorded landslide victories within the shortest time. Just in the few weeks now, 3 judgments from Nigerian court have favored the Biafran people. First, the case for self-determination that was instituted by the customary government of the Indigenous People of Biafra at Federal High Court to Owerri received a favorable judgment where the court is deciding or trying to debate whether or not the court at Federal High Court to Owerri has right for or has the jurisdiction to hear the suit for self-determination of Indigenous People of Biafra. The judge gave the judgment in favor of Biafran people, saying that Federal High Court to Owerri has right to or has the jurisdiction to hear the suit filed by the Indigenous People of Biafra, whereas the Nigerian government wanted to carry that case over to Abuja to frustrate and make that case impossible or very difficult for Biafran people to handle.
Today is actually a very serious day for argument between the Nigerian lawyers and the Biafran lawyers over the issue of jurisdiction of this court, whether this court is has the territorial jurisdiction to hear this case or not. So that is a case, an issue the judge raised so much that the present judge raised this issue and directed the 2 lawyers to come today to address the court on this issue as to whether he is the proper judge to decide this case or whether he should transfer this case to Abuja. That's why we are here today, to argue on the territorial jurisdiction.
Then, in another hand, just very recently, the judge handled the case of the director of Radio Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, gave a favorable judgment with respect to the trial of Nnamdi Kanu and 3 other Biafrans.
But let me make this observation. The court in the course of the ruling also observed today that part of the charges were challenging its competence. And by saying that they're referring to IPOB as unlawful charge, is not true. Of course. The court said today there is nothing attached to the proof evidence to sustain that charge of unlawful society. It thereby follows that IPOB today is a lawful society.
She went further to declare in her court from the pronouncement that Indigenous People of Biafra is not an unlawful society, as speculated by many people. Even some Biafrans thought that Biafra is an illegal activity in Nigeria. But that was, established in court that Biafra is a legitimate entity for the fact that Indigenous People of Biafra were able to file a suit for self-determination in Nigeria way back 2012, and is still valid up to today. The case is still on up to today. Shows that Biafra is a legitimate entity, and it has continued in the favor of Biafran people the outcome of court judgment. Against the belief and conclusion by many people, many Biafrans, that Biafrans will not get justice in Nigeria. Now, today, 45 indigenous people of Biafra regained their freedom as court discharged and acquitted them from any kind of treasonable charges or treasonable felon that was levied against them by the federal government. So we are asking, do you think that Biafrans should continue to operate in fear? The answer is capital no. But what we advise Biafrans to do is to operate within the law. Like I said earlier on my previous video, I said that we do not need to break Nigerian law in order to break up Nigeria. In fact, Nigerian law and constitution is the greatest instrument that can be used to dismantle the colonial empire, the colonial contraction called Nigeria, piece by piece. So I admonish all Biafrans to carry about their agitation within the framework of law. Like I said, you cannot overcome somebody with an instrument you are not used to. Biafran people are very intellectual people. They are so intellectual to the point that you cannot defeat Biafra in any debate. In any walks of life, Biafran people are performing excellently well intellectually. So when you want to confront Nigeria in violence, a kind of uncivilized system, Nigeria will beat you because that is what Nigeria is good at: to molest, to brutalize, to undermine the rights of people. But if you want to engage Nigeria in the area where they are not versatile with, where they are not conversant with, believe you me, Biafrans will beat Nigeria hands down. So that is why we opt for Biafran agitation to be done within the frameworks of law, to be done in a democratic way. That is the reason why the customary government of Indigenous People of Biafra adopted 3-point methodology to achieve Biafra independence, which includes the court process, which we are all witnessing in recent time, and Biafra people are getting positive results. Then the diplomatic process. The diplomatic process is the second approach or methodology which has been adopted by the customary government of Indigenous People of Biafra, and they have recorded landslide achievements. Talking about going to the United Nations, being a member of ECOSOC Department of United Nations and African Union. In fact, a lot of things are happening. Biafrans are currently being invited to ECOSOC meeting, to United Nations meeting, all because we apply the democratic process, the due process, the diplomatic process. Then the latest, which is the political process. Although some people have argued that it is not a no-go area. Anyway, anything that someone has not done before seems impossible. But when you achieve that, it becomes possible. For us, there is nothing like impossibility when it comes to Biafra agitation, when it comes to every legitimate means in pursuit for self-determination of an oppressed people. So, Indigenous People of Biafra have adopted the political movement through a body called mobbing. Anyway, that is not part of what we are going to be discussing today, but in a nutshell, Biafra people have been able to beat Nigeria hands down on the process through an intellectual warfare. So I think that trend should continue, and I encourage all Biafrans to continue to express themselves within the boundaries of law. Then the second issue that we're going to be looking into is the MMM. Hey, this thing is just something else. Some people call it money making machine, MMM. But today, I think that story has completely changed. what is happening in this time of recession. Nigerians lost a staggering amount of 18 billion naira to that Ponzi scheme. 18 billion naira to that Ponzi scheme that came from Russia. 18 billion, not 18 billion, 18 billion naira. And it came from the analysis that about 8 million Nigerians, no, not 8 million, 3 million Nigerians actually lost 18 billion naira to MMM Ponzi scheme. And you ask, you know, some people have such mixed feelings about MMM. People like me, I don't have any interest in anything gambling or networking or stuff like that. People like me is a no-go area for me. But some people have such flair to go into such activity. At least it's a new way to, you know, enhance your earning and the rest of them without so much stress. But why is it that more young people are engaged in such activities? Not just Ponzi scheme, not just MMM. There are many of them that are now, you know, developing eyes, ears, nose, legs, and tails all over Nigeria. So many Ponzi schemes are now coming up from left, right, and center. Then why is it that young people are so much engaged in such activity? One thing is responsible: unemployment. The government of Nigeria have failed the youth. The Nigerian youth are totally being left point blank in the dark by the Nigerian government, and that is why they chose an easier way to, you know, sustain themselves economically. Talking about those that have graduated without any employment, talking about those who are still in school, who their work cannot even afford to, you know, meet up with their financial requirements to go through academic strenuous life. Now, these youths are now engaged in not just Ponzi scheme, but if you go to betting shops, my God, you and I know very well. Even you that is watching, many of us are engaged in what is called betting. You know, and I am not condemning it. Who am I to condemn it? I am not condemning it whatsoever. But what is the cause? The cause is because Nigerian government have failed the Nigerian youth. Well, when two evil is offered to you, when two bad options is presented to you, you choose a lesser, you know, evil or a lesser bad option. And I think this networking stuff and what do you call it, Ponzi scheme and all this betting, I think it is something that is keeping our youth at least busy to keep their minds on crime, at least. But the staggering loss of this Ponzi scheme, oh my God, to a country in Europe, what they call Eastern Europe or whatever, Russia, staggering 18 billion naira. You can imagine what that would have done in Nigeria. So I think that Nigerian government, I am not here to advise Nigerian government because it is not my interest to advise Nigerian government, because you know my background. I am a Biafran. If I had to advise, I will have to advise my people, the Biafran people, to ensure that they put in more effort. Who we are, we don't depend on shortcuts to make success. Biafran people are endowed intellectually, like I said earlier. Biafran people are seriously endowed with talents, with skills to meet up any challenges of life. In any condition, any Biafran, true Biafran meets himself or herself. They are properly equipped with talent and endowment from God to succeed. So I don't think that you need any shortcut to, you know, make ends meet. No, bring out that Biafran in you, and you will see yourself succeed. Now that is it for the MMM, and for those that lost, sorry for you. We share in your loss, we grieve in your loss, but I will encourage you to look out for something much profitable. On these days, go online, there are many opportunities for you to make a genuine money without going into cybercrime or shortcut money. Yeah, we are running out of time, and we'll try to, you know, look into some other few issues. The acting president or the president of Nigeria, I know it's acting president, that is Zibanjo, the order that all the oil companies should relocate their headquarters back to Niger Delta. Wonderful. This is the first time this is happening since 1999 for the oil companies to be ordered by the presidency to relocate back to Niger Delta where they are getting that natural resources. You know, when we are growing up, when we are doing economics, they will talk about the factors of production and blah blah blah, the rest of them. Then they will tell you that many companies or manufacturing companies site their factories close to the sources of their, the primary raw materials. But these days, the case is different in Nigeria, as oil companies have all relocated to Lagos or Abuja and operate from there. Whereas the area, the community, they decimated environmentally wise. They have abandoned those communities and flew to Lagos where they are having a better environmental, climatical, enjoyment. They are enjoying a good weather. Whereas they have polluted the Niger Delta areas and they are running away from it. So Osibanjo probably as a way to, douse the tension that is coming from the Niger Delta region, probably to seeking to bring peace in the Niger Delta region. They have ordered the oil companies to relocate back to Niger Delta and operate from there. Do you think that will end the hostility in the Niger Delta region? We want your comments right there. We want to know your feelings and your opinion with respect to this. Will this Osibanjo order for all the oil companies to relocate back to Niger Delta, will it bring lasting peace and end of hostility in the Niger Delta region? Drop the comments and let us know what your feelings are with respect to all that we have just discussed. That is where we are going to be rounding it up for today's Matters Arising. If you love our video, just simply subscribe on our YouTube channel so that you'll be getting our up-to-date analysis on issues around us. And also, we share up and bring up a viable community that can interact and exchange ideas. That is what DPI Channel 1 is here for. And we admonish you to also follow us on all our social media platforms, on Twitter, on Facebook, Google+, and the rest of them. Just follow us and get up-to-date information. Visit our website, www.dpichannel1.com, to get all the confirmed news updates. That is where you get news that is void of any form of propaganda or political influence. Thank you very much for watching. I still remain the one and only Asus Chilean Peters. I love you to the bones. Shalom.